We got the $1 Million Man back here on the program, Lewis Taylor, who's going to be competing as a welterweight this season in their tournament for PFL. Lewis, how are you, man?
I'm great. I'm great. Like you said, competing as a welterweight, so I'm unhappy about this weight cut, but I got business to get done.
Yeah, for sure. How did you find out about that? Because it sort of was just, I saw the announcement about them going heavy on the women's tournament, and then all of a sudden, no more 185.
Yeah, I actually caught wind of it a little bit before the end of season last year, and I was like, "Whoa!" But then you don't want to get sidetracked on thinking about anything else, so I stayed focused on winning my middleweight, the middleweight tournament last year in 2018. It's disheartening it was for them to remove the 185. I just had to find, you just got to realign. Where do I fit best? Do I go up or do I go down? I pretty much make 185 pretty easily, so I figured I'll give 170 a chance before I just give up on it.
Right. Is there any thought at all of them just keeping the title and you defending it at some point, maybe after the tournament or something like that? Is that something that was discussed at all?
It was never discussed with me or whatever. That would have been a dope process to fight a few times and not have
Do
to
both,
cut
yeah.
not have to cut an extra 20 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was never brought up. Of course, it was in my mind, but I don't have the power to to press those issues.
Yeah, and I was looking at your career because I know some of those earlier fights they don't have the full results and everything like that. But is this the first time you've ever competed at 170 in your career?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever competed at 170. I haven't even wrestled at 170 since high school, so it's gonna be a journey. Unfortunately, I'm gonna put more effort into making weight than to getting ready to fight.
Right.
But I can't. If I don't make weight, then then I won't be able to fight regardless. So I got to put this making weight has to be the first goal. Winning the fight has to be the second goal.
Right. So it's two battles now that you have to encounter, but you're the king of overcoming adversity. So, we're definitely looking forward to that. Now, have you talked to anyone like any nutritionist or anyone like that to help you get down to 170? Because as I know, as someone who's getting older myself, it's tougher to lose weight as you get older.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing now. And everybody always praised me for making 185 so easily, but I try to explain to them it wasn't easy. I've just always tried to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to force my body at 40 years old to be doing something the wrong way and then have long-term implications of my health. So I'm trying to do it as best as possible so I don't end up in a hospital or some crazy mess. Or you know how it goes with these weight cuts. So I'm trying to get my weight down as low as possible, and so I can be as healthy as possible on fight night.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. We were talking off air a little bit. You just got back from vacation. Actually, we were both away in separate destinations. How was that? And I'm sure, one last sort of hurrah, I'm sure, on the bad food before you have to actually make the cut.
Yeah. To be on vacation and not be able to go crazy on the food, on the alcohol, on any of that, any of that gluttony, as you say,
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but I got a lot of praise from the locals and Turks and Caicos. They saw me out at the bar but not drinking. They were like, "Whoa, you're such a role model." I'm like, "Little do you know." But I enjoyed the weather. I enjoyed the company without enjoying, without the indulgence of sin.
Yeah. No, it's good. And I'm sure, keeps you focused as well. And, when you go on vacation, you get a lot of downtime, a lot of reflection, a lot of looking ahead as well, too. So, I'm sure that was a nice recharge. Now, did the kids come with you or was it just you and the wife so you could kind of get some alone time?
It was me and my homie, Mike LaPuma. Unfortunately, he's going through a divorce, but he had already booked the tickets and everything.
So a good friend, hey, you need someone else. Yeah.
He hit me up with hey, you got a passport? I hit you. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I just replaced his wife and enjoyed the view.
Good stuff, man. Let's talk about the $1 million, obviously, which you won last year in the tournament. What have you been putting it into? Because I know you were talking about what you were going to do with it at the time, but what have you actually, put in, as far as the money, investments, things like that?
Well, I'm still working on everything, still talking with accountants, still trying to get everything figured out. Tax season's around the corner, so I got messages right now. I got a business to handle. But so far, I just paid off my home, um, and in the retirement, and now I'm looking to see what's next for investments. Still got Uncle Sam looking over my shoulder, ready to pay these taxes.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure all that out, and at the same time, trying to cut weight and get ready for this PFL season, which it came really fast. It's 2 months down, and I'm right back. Not even a full 2 months. So January was not that long ago, and I'm right back getting into camp. So I didn't get a whole lot of downtime.
Well, last thing on the $1 million, have you had people come out of the woodwork and ask for money at all? Has that
Oh
happened at
yeah,
all? Oh man, yeah, it must be kind of
it's
annoying.
crazy. I get calls every other day. Prison. I need put some money. Can you put some money on my books? Lawyers. Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, bro. Like I got my own kids. I got things I got to take care of.
Mhm.
I'm not asking for that much. Just you get 2,500. I'm like, you got to break it down to them. Like, listen, that's how you go broke. These little bitty loans add up. You
Mhm.
know, but just the biggest problem is people start to try to count your pocket and tell you what you can do for them. You know, oh well, you should do this for the family. Like bro, I got a whole life, a whole family to take care of. I'll get to that if I make more money, but that's don't count my pockets and tell me what I should be doing, what you're not doing with your own finances.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, it's kind of an annoying part of when it comes with money. It's like those lottery winners too. I'm sure they deal with that a lot as well. Now, the other big news that's happened since we last talked is that you're going to be on ESPN. I mean, you must be thrilled, to get that exposure. And one thing I wanted to ask you about that too is, have sponsors come and reached out to you now because that's a big platform to be on.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't endorse the vapes. We can't do the CBDs. We can't do the cigarettes. So those are the more lucrative sponsors.
Mhm.
Trying to get uh, big money out of say an 8 man or another clothing. They just aren't willing to break bread with the platform because they're not sure what the numbers are going to be.
Mhm.
But I'm talking, and hopefully someone comes along and reaches out because I still got some spots. Still got some spots.
There you go. He's open for business, ladies and gentlemen. If people are watching and want to sponsor Lewis, that's always great. Just one thing I wanted to clarify. So they're not even letting you do like a CBD oil company because that's legal. I would think that's
I
something
Yeah, my understanding is they're not.
that's
I
crazy.
need Yeah, I need that. What I'm saying, because that's where you got to go where the bubbles at. That's where the money's at. These upstart businesses trying to get their names out there.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so but we're employees, so you got to do what boss say.
Right. So let me ask you this though: what if it's a CBD oil company wanted to sponsor you, but they didn't do any advertising during the fight, but they just wanted to sponsor you outside of camp? Is that still not allowed?
And no, I think that's allowed.
Okay.
I'm allowed to do my own media thing. I'm allowed to do my own things outside of what's gonna be on the logos on my gear. You feel me? So anything that doesn't have to do with my gear being in the cage, I'm allowed to do.
Okay. I like that. Now I was reading somewhere on social media. I believe the plan is for you to return in May. Is that accurate?
Yeah, May 9th. May 9th. I got like less than 2 months coming up fast.
Okay.
So like I'm cutting weight. I'm staring at the scale morning, noon, and night.
Okay. And any opponents scheduled yet, or is that still being figured out?
It's been figured out. I know, but I can't release it just
Right, of
yet.
course. Yeah,
So
we got to keep it top secret. Well, that's good. Then we can just do another interview when that's announced and everything. And any preference on who you want to fight in this tournament because it's a new division for you?
I mean, I would say I have my preferences, but at the moment, I know it's pointless to say so.
Right,
Because
because you have a fight booked. I guess that's true. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And then just one other thing. Obviously, your good friend Bilal Muhammad, came off a loss. Have you talked to him lately? How's he doing?
yeah, he's in good spirits, man. For whatever reason, we were just super flat out there that night. Everything physically was going wrong. Like I told him, I just believe he beat himself mentally before the fight, and I believe he at times has to deal with that sports psychology aspect of the game because training he's perfect. Uh, Everything else is perfect, but for whatever reason in that fight he just zoned out. We fought plenty of southpaws. We fought plenty of people that have way better skill sets than what we fought that night. But everything mentally just wasn't there. But again, even when he's fighting his worst fight I've ever had to call, and I've been with him from day one, and that was the worst I've ever had to get overthrew it, he still was all heart. He still found a way to keep trying to find a way to win. And that's all you want from a champion. When things aren't going right, don't give up. Keep pressing forward.
Last question before I let you go. Is it safe to say, I mean, I know you're not making any promises now, but do you feel like this will be the last run for you as far as, going through this tournament? Like I mentioned, father time, not always kind to athletes. Is that kind of what you're looking at right now?
I mean, it's not. I'm not making any predictions. I do want to get started on trying to flip this money. But so if making money in the cage is more lucrative than making money on the side, then I'll keep fighting. If I'm not getting in there, getting knocked out, getting my brains rattled, my guts reorganized, then I'll keep fighting. Like you say, father time is not on my side, but if the money's right and I'm feeling right, then I'll keep stepping into the cage.
And this interview is always right, man. I always love catching up with you, Lewis. Great to hear that you got to enjoy some of that money a little bit. We're excited for your return in May. We'll have to figure out who that opponent is soon. But in the meantime, man, just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
For sure. This is Lewis. Put the Guns Down Taylor. You can find me on Instagram under Put the Guns Down Taylor. If you know how to spell all that, you good. Sponsors, my number one sponsors, they always got my back. They keep my hands nice and safe. That's Onward Athletics. I'm looking at 8-Man. 8-Man, put a shirt on me. We can take this PFL shirt off and get with the monkeys. And Icon as well, Icon Clothing. So we'll see how things pan out as far as sponsors go, but I'm here for that. I'm here and waiting.